Marcus Hill would like the council to cease and desist in the addition of hazardous toxic waste products to the water supply. Is Marcus Hill here?
I am. Nice to see everybody again this evening.
Nice to see you too.
Thanks. Cedar Railroad, Raleigh, North Carolina. Thanks, Gil. There are two very important issues that I'm addressing tonight. First, on January 2nd, 2013, I issued a cease and desist order to the Raleigh City Council, and I'm reissuing that order tonight. A cease and desist order is defined as an order or request that an activity or practice end and not commence in the future or else face legal action. Governments, businesses, and individuals can issue such orders or requests in order to halt illegal and or harmful activities. Forcing a given population to pay for the hazardous toxic waste of a subsidiary of Potash Incorporated and then to drink that hazardous toxic waste is an activity that defies natural law and common sense while being obviously and verifiably harmful. In recognition of the difficult economic times facing our city and the planning going into the next fiscal year's budget, I propose that spending hundreds of thousands of dollars per year for the hazardous toxic waste products of PCS phosphate and then adding that toxic waste to the water supply should be discontinued. The money that is spent to filter out the toxic waste we pay to add could be put to better use. The money spent to maintain the equipment needed to handle highly corrosive acids like hexafluorosilicic acid should be put to better use. Forcing the citizens of Raleigh to be revenue-generating filtration systems for the toxic waste of large corporations is a city program that should end. Practicing medicine without a license by mass medicating a population with toxic fluorides is a city program that should end. With the overwhelming evidence of harm and potential harm from fluorides, the city of Raleigh should discontinue water fluoridation. The second issue I'm addressing this evening is also of great importance. It is an issue important enough to be a part of the Constitution of the United States and of the state of North Carolina. I'm asking the Raleigh City Council to pass a resolution to preserve and defend the Constitution of the United States and the state of North Carolina. A similar resolution has been passed by the Beaufort County, North Carolina Board of Commissioners on January the 18th of 2013, and asked the Raleigh City Council resolve to call upon the Governor and General Assembly of North Carolina to nullify any federal law, executive order, or regulations restricting the right to keep and bear arms, and further resolve to resist federal, local, or international encroachment on the right to keep and bear arms. I've taken the liberty to draft a resolution, which I'll submit this evening, and it goes as follows. Whereas the Constitution of the United States provides a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's the Second Amendment. And whereas the Constitution of the State of North Carolina provides a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And as standing armies in time of peace are dangerous to liberty, they shall not be maintained. And the military shall be kept under strict subordination to and governed by the civil power. As the civil power, obviously in consideration of my time constraints, the number of people here, I'll simply submit this for your future reference, and I do hope that you'll stand on the side of common sense and on the side of history and defend our Constitution and end the practice of mass poisoning people. Thank you.
Next we have Katie Haberman. I'd like to ask the council to end the practice of introducing hazardous toxic waste products to the water supply.
Good evening. Katie Haberman, Cedar Railroad, Raleigh, North Carolina. The addition of hazardous toxic waste products to the municipal water supply is a practice that must stop here in Raleigh. There has been numerous examples of enlightened, conscious city councils in North America who have listened to the citizens of their city, stood up to giant corporate interests that seek to use populations as a revenue-generating filtration system and end the practice of adding toxic waste to the water. Just 1 week ago, the City Council of Windsor, Ontario, Canada voted 8-3 to side with common sense and end the 51-year-long practice of water fluoridation. The toxic waste product, hexafluorosilicic acid, that Windsor will no longer add to their water is listed among the same compounds this City Raleigh Council guarantees are added to the water here. At our January 2nd meeting, I asked City Attorney McCormick for a documentation of the referendum granting the City Council the power to add persistent bioaccumulative toxins like lead and arsenic to the water supply. The practice of adding those toxins still continues, but I'm still awaiting that documentation, Mr. McCormick. Perhaps one day, this Raleigh City Council will side with common sense and stop adding hazardous toxic waste to the water. Perhaps one day, Raleigh can be an example of cities that do not practice the involuntary medication of its population. In just the past 2 years, many municipal governments in the United States have stopped dumping toxic waste in their water. Pine Island, Florida, Milton, Florida, Bradford, Vermont, Romulus, New York, Pulaski, New York, Wichita, Kansas, Harvard, Nebraska, Crescent City, California, Lakeview, Iowa, Cassadaga, New York, Santa Fe, New Mexico, Argos, Indiana, Bassett, Nebraska, Palisades, Colorado, Beverly, Missouri, Lakeview, Indiana, North Liberty, Indiana, Walkerton, Indiana, Albuquerque, New Mexico, West Manheim, Pennsylvania, Bourbon, Indiana, Bolivar, Missouri, Myerstown, Pennsylvania, Heartland Township, Michigan, Grantsburg, Wisconsin, Amesbury, Massachusetts, Palmer, Alaska, Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, Welsh, Louisiana, Spencer, Indiana, College Station, Texas, Howdenwald, Tennessee, Pottstown, Pennsylvania, Spring Hill, Tennessee, Fairbanks, Alaska, Nepal's Village, New York, Mount Clemens, Michigan, Holman, Wisconsin, Lago Vista, Texas, Mechanicsville, Iowa, Marcellus, Michigan, Independence, Virginia, and Yellow Springs, Ohio.
Okay,
Raleigh should join them.
Thank you very much, Ms. Haberman. Okay, next we have Charlie